Hi, this is Olencelot, and today I'm going to do another one of my thought chains, where I draw pictures of stories from my past and my childhood, and this one's going to be a little bit electric. Now, when I was a kid, my family had a restaurant called Hoagie Heaven, and my dad ran the shop, and me and my brother and even my two older brothers all worked there, and even my mom. It was a family business, and my favorite thing to eat there was a pizza sub. It had pepperoni and mayonnaise and cheese and stuff. And then I'd also eat barbecue potato chips. And then to wash it down, I always had a big glass of root beer. It was my favorite. Now, that's probably why, instead of being skinny, I was kind of chubby as a kid. Because I grew up eating all this food, and I grew up in a restaurant. And while I draw this picture of the restaurant, don't pay attention to the fact that my camera is slowly tilting off to one side. It kind of randomly does that sometimes, and even though I fix it in a minute, it does it again. I guess that's just kind of the way my life is sometimes. But anyway, in Hoagie Heaven, they had this closet that had all the CO2 tanks for the soda machines. And there was a television up there so all the customers could watch TV. And when I was a kid, I used to climb up there and look out this little window at all the customers and laugh at them while they ate. Because people did some funny things sometimes. And this one time when I climbed up on top of those tanks, I was looking out that window, and this guy was eating his sandwich, and I was just staring at him, and I think everybody knew that I was watching him, but back then I thought I was being pretty sneaky. Till one day when my hand slipped loose, and I fell flat on my back on top of all those metal tanks. And after I hit on my back, I crashed off the top of those and flopped down onto the floor right onto my face. That's one of my earliest memories of Hoagie Heaven. I spent a lot of time in there, and that wasn't a very fun day. This one day that was really awesome, though, was when we realized that my brother and I, we found this big staircase out in the hallway of the building where our hoagie shop was. My brother and I thought, man, this huge staircase is cool. And so we went out back and we found this dead bird that we'd seen earlier. And that bird, it was been dead for a long time. And so what we did was we took that dead bird and we got an idea that dead birds have feathers. And if we wore our football jerseys that we had when we were kids, that maybe we could fly somehow. So we came up with this idea where we put on our football jerseys, the two of us. And the football jerseys had all these little holes in it. So we pulled all the feathers off that bird and put them in the holes. And we thought, if we flap our arms up and down really fast when we jump off those stairs, maybe we could fly up into the clouds and where all the other birds are. We could fly up into the sky. So we hatched our plan and we got up on the stairs, which today are pretty poorly drawn stairs, but that's okay. And we put those feathers in our shirt and we jumped off the flight of stairs, and even though you can't see it on the screen here, just imagine a really awesome picture of me landing flat on my face. But the cool part is instead of crying, I just asked, did I catch some air? My brother was like, yeah, it was awesome. And for just a split second there, I thought, maybe I did fly. That camera shift was a fail, but I kind of fixed it for now. But as you'll notice, just like a lot of my life, it's going to start failing again. So this is about a dark basement, and it was scary, and my friends, they kind of misled me this one day. There was this electrical outlet and it had all these exposed wires sticking out the back of it. And instead of being scared of that and the fact that it had plastic all burned on the front of it, we were curious. So we were all looking at this outlet and how it had all these exposed wires. And one of my friends said, "Hey, you should touch it. It's turned off," said another kid. So of course, I listened to my friends and I stuck my hand right inside there. And you guys know what happened. The thing electrocuted me really bad, made this loud zap noise. And luckily I fell down instead of getting stuck there and, dying. Because that would have ruined my day. So as I sat there on the ground on my knees, I was freaking out because it was the first time I'd ever been electrocuted. And I was crying really loud, and one of my friends said, "Touch the wood so that the electricity can leave your body and go into the wood." And even though that didn't make sense, in that moment I touched that wood and it didn't do anything, which means kids in serious medical emergencies, when they tell you to touch wood, is really seriously bad medical advice. Well, that's the end of this thought chain. Thanks for watching, and even though I have camera problems, if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, I promise I'll do a better job next week. See ya!
Oh, let's alive.